Okay, good. Let's get into this real quick. So, what is this video about? Well, this video is specifically about the phrases that investigators use from the SSA CDI unit to get access to your house and get access to your physical movements in around your front door and inside your house without ever getting a warrant by using ruses. Now, if you don't know what a legal ruse is, I'm not going to take a lot of time to explain it right now because we've done videos on this before, but it's basically where a phrasing of words will be used to get you to want to partake in a conversation with, basically an SSA spy, an investigator on behalf of the OIG CDI unit. You then interact with them. They collect data on you via audio and video recorders, usually two. And then they use that to create what's called an ROI, which is then used to go and give to DDS or administrative law judges to specifically show what your capacity is from what they could find. Now, obviously, if you're doing criminal actions right then and there, most of the time you can get arrested right then and there because a lot of them are policemen / sheriffs that they hire to do this job. I'm only going to cover 5 tonight. I have a lot more than that, and each one of these was a real case that happened in 2023, 2024, and 2025. We're going to go through 5. Then I'm going to do a video on each individual case. And then we're going to go to the next 5. That way you have a really solid understanding of essentially how this works, because it's important for a lot of people to understand what the rights are, what to watch out for, etc. Now, one thing you have to kind of keep in mind with this whole thing is that the SSA OIG personnel are for the most part trained to stop trying to interact with you if you start talking about a lawyer, start asking them for a warrant, start putting up cameras and trying to record them, or basically, if it's a situation where they're starting to call the police while they're there. So just kind of keep in mind, those are things that are going to usually pull them away from continuing to investigate you on the spot as they're there. Number 1, most used tactic by successful CDI units. It's part of the CDI script. It's the most successful thing that's used, okay? Quote, this is an investigator comes up to your door, knocks on your door. Quote, we're investigating identity theft on your social security number, okay? All of a sudden, right, the claimant feels like, oh, crap. Somebody's using my stuff. Somebody's using my social security number, which is ironic because the SSA is all about like fighting fraud and like fighting fraudulent statements. But there are actual SSA employees that will feed you fraudulent statements to basically investigate you. Now, this was a real case in Texas in 2025. Basically, what they do is they interact with you, talking about essentially, okay, we'd like to catch the thief. Can you feed us some information? We understand you feel like a victim. Can you go ahead and maybe check your online account? Can you check your computer? They'll walk with you into your house. They'll walk around with you as you're describing things as to what's going on. Do you currently have your social security card? Is this the person that you claim you are? You'll be standing there for 30, 45, an hour long. And now they've got evidence that you have the capacity to stand and talk, interact with somebody, right? When you said on your paperwork that you couldn't stand for more than 10 to 15 minutes. That's number 1. Number 2, quote, someone filed a fraudulent disability claim using your name and social security number. They'll usually use this on disabled people. This is a real case in Florida, 2024, they got access. Bottom line is this, basically, they'll have you fill out like a DDS SSA 200 form. They'll have you go ahead and, make you feel like you're the victim. Make you feel like, somebody's impersonating you and you're the disabled person, not this other person. And you're like, what the hell? I'm the disabled person. I can't believe this. How could this happen to me? I'm a veteran with with 100% PNT or TDIU, blah, 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 all this stuff. All while that's going on, and you're in frantic, like, I got to fix this mode, and they're there, we're here to investigate, right? When they do that stuff, bottom line is that they get to watch you, interact with you, potentially come into your house with you because you're acting like you should trust them because they're there to fix the problem. Which again is ironic because the SSA is all about fighting fraud. It just uses fraud to fight fraud. Yeah, I know. It's kind of weird. And they got to do it because how else are we going to catch people being normal, right? Next one, quote, we recovered a stolen laptop with your personal information on it. California case 2025. Basically, they will go ahead and they'll bring props, but remember, the props can't have things written on them that further essentially your belief of something that has occurred, because that's stepping over the line. So if they bring you a lab report where basically the lab said, hey, your computer had this, and this on it, then that's too far. They're not allowed to create documents in furtherance of the ruse, because that's illegal, right? Then they've gone too far. All the evidence they collect has to be thrown out. So basically what they do is, they'll go ahead and, bring a laptop, talk to you about it. And, they'll even sometimes match the laptop that they might've seen you using, and then you'll go and look at it and be like, hey, wait a minute, I thought this was in my house. Well, come on in here. Let's see if it's in my house. Or it'll be a situation where, they'll be like, hey, at the end of the day, ... can you show me that you can log into your computer? And then all of a sudden, you're lifting up bags, you're trying to move stuff, you're trying to clear a seat for them to go ahead and sit. Now they're gauging how heavy that bag was, how heavy that thing was that you just lifted. They're looking at, can they get a recording of essentially what the item was and the model and the manufacturer of that item, so they can look up online what the actual weight was, showing that you just lifted something quite heavy. Next one, quote, we're following up on the police report you made about your stolen car, your stolen bike, your stolen rollator, your stolen cane, your stolen purse, your stolen garden gnome, whatever. Doesn't matter. Now remember, they have access to the NCIC record database. So if you file a police report, they gonna show up and say, hey, we're further investigating this. Can you tell me what happened? Can you basically help me understand what's going on? Can you walk over and show me where it happened? Can you tell me about what are the situations that are going on? Can you show me photos from your laptop? Can you show me evidence? Can you go get me the writings? And then all of a sudden they're in your house and they're walking around and they're watching your gait and they're watching you move and they're watching you groove. Okay. Next one. Okay. All right. And we're only doing 5 tonight because I'm tired. We're only doing 5. That's it. Next one. There was a string of burglaries in the neighborhood. We're canvassing door to door to see what people know. And people connect with this because they want to be good citizens. Civic duty. Real case, Ohio, 2025. Basically, they'll show you some, simple things. It's a real book, real mugshots, right? These are real people who basically did burglaries in the neighborhood. They're not lying about that. They're not creating a document that has false information that's in furtherance of the ruse. It is a book with real information in it. Okay. And basically, you're essentially, you're standing there, you're talking to them, you're showing them stuff, you're explaining what you might have known, what you might have seen, talking about your neighbors, how they might be total shitty people, whatever. They record, they get all your bodily movements, so on and so forth. And then all of a sudden they got you. They got you on ROI. And now it's a procedure to go ahead and say, hey, this person may not be as disabled as they claim they actually are. Now, I'm only doing a summary today of these 5. Then I'm going to go into the specific cases for each. And then after that, I'll go to the next 5 from there. Because, you guys, you probably want to know how to basically protect yourselves from what is actually a version of fraud. It's a version of frauding through essentially creating deceptive material, or it's actually real material used for deceptive purposes, and basically using deception of our inherent belief and trust in our rule/law enforcement groups. So I figured you might want to know what this stuff is. All right. I will catch you all a little bit later. Please remember to like and subscribe. Remember, I don't do Medicare stuff. So if you have Medicare questions, give Chapter a call, 339-226-6287, 339-226-6287. I will catch you tomorrow where I will go live. I'm just too tired. It's like 1:23 a.m. I got to go to bed. I got to wake up. I got to work. So a lot of people don't realize I work at the law firm during the day. And then I do some work on the rental home to keep trying to push the ball forward. And then basically I do the YouTube videos. So it's 3 jobs one day. I'll catch you all a little bit later. You have a wonderful night and we will rock and roll from there. Please remember, if you need a private consultation, mini 30-minute or 1-hour contract is below in the bio area. I'll catch you a little later. Have a wonderful night. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.